Hey guys, it's Likeable Libertarian here. So I want to, before I even start on the topic, this is a very controversial thing, and many people have been offended by this, and it has been quite a while since it has happened. But I also want to discuss a little bit about this topic because I saw something that happened in my hometown. Well, not my hometown, but my home state. Something that happened recently, and someplace that I just so happened to visit during the summer. Um, and I just find it kind of disgusting about this. Um, but I just wanted to issue a warning. This is very controversial. A lot of people will get offended by this. I guarantee it. But for those of you that are gonna keep watching this video, even though I just said it's gonna be a bit of a problem. Some people will be offended. For those of you that keep watching this video, please keep an open mind and please consider the context of this and what I believe. And I'm not here to promote anything really aside from just freedom of speech kind of deal. So I actually want to discuss this. Now, I apologize for those of you that are currently and future offended by this image that is on screen at the moment. So, out of respect for those of you that are offended by it, I am now going to switch to the next picture. So I apologize for those of you that were offended by that, because I know some people are offended to that, and I am sorry about that, but it's just the way that we are nowadays. So on screen now, instead, is a less provocative picture. This is a picture of Denton Square in Texas, where I recently just visited my grandparents that live in Argyle. This picture is more of a memorial, in my opinion. On it is the date of when it started, when the Civil War started, and a date of when it finished. And then it shows a picture of a soldier at the very top right there, and then right above the archway it says "For our Confederate soldiers," but you get the idea. In my opinion, this is more of a memorial, kind of a tomb type of thing. So for this reason, I actually treated this thing with respect. I paid attention to it, and I thought it was very beautiful. It's a very beautiful architecture, as you can see, and it's in no way, shape, or form like as provocative as the Confederate flag is. It's more like this is for our soldiers. This is to remember those of us that died that were from the South. And then there are also memorials up in, I think it's in Gettysburg, for the Union soldiers that died. So this is a very beautiful monument, in my opinion, that's in Denton Square in Texas, and right behind it, as you can see, is the courthouse. Now, here is what I really wanted to talk about today. What the heck is this? I mean, it's kind of blatant and obvious as to what it is, but why did somebody do this? I mean, look at it. How is this? I mean, not to disrespect anybody, but how in the world is this in itself racist? This thing, this memorial, is for Confederate soldiers, not for slavery. It does not represent slavery at all. It's for Confederate soldiers that lost their lives protecting what they believe in. Now, I understand that some people are probably getting offended, like right now, right as I'm speaking, by what I am saying, and saying that this is a bad thing, that somebody did this. But in that context, that they're disrespecting not only the soldiers, but the people that erected that in the first place. Now, I understand that some people get offended by this because the Confederacy was for slavery, and that's kind of what the Confederate flag has come to represent now. But this was to represent the soldiers that lost their lives protecting what they believe in. Okay? This, in my opinion, is very disrespectful to people that lost their lives in a war for belief and all this other just stuff that was I mean, slavery was bad. That's blatantly obvious. But to disrespect a monument like this, to write all over it, to say that, this is racist, when in reality it is not racist at all. It's just a memorial to the fallen soldiers that did this. That's just the worst thing you can do to a monument of the dead. This is to remember the dead people. This is to remember people who lost their lives in battle. Okay? This is pretty much the same as this. I know some people will disagree with me on the fact that it's the same, when in reality it's not. This is for a more recent thing. But if you think about it in the context of soldiers and fallen soldiers, this is to represent soldiers that have been unidentified. And same thing with the Confederate statue, or whatever you want to call it, in Denton Square. It's for basically every soldier that has lost their life. And that's kind of my opinion on what this represents. Now, think about it. Some janitor or something, had to clean up the graffiti. And even though it's, cleaned up, it's still there. Somebody is still working on it. Working on getting this, disrespectful stuff. This ultimate symbol of disrespect. They're working to get it off of a monument of people that lost their lives for a war for fighting what they believe in. Now think about what it is that, we were doing under George Bush, but have stopped doing under Obama. We were fighting terrorism for, because we believed in freedom and, that terror was bad. We were fighting for what we believed in. Okay? Imagine that in the context of what the Confederates were doing. They were fighting for what they believed in. The Union, they were fighting for what they believed in. In both cases, in that case, they were fighting against each other for what they believed in. The Union for, the Union for pretty much, they were fighting against slavery. They were fighting for freedom, basically. And the South was fighting for slavery, which I get. That's why the Confederate flag is a big issue, because people still think, people still believe in slavery and stuff like that. And honestly, there are some people that think that. There are the skinheads, the neo-Nazis, all these other groups. They believe that, people should be put in their place. They believe that they're them. It's that concept that is a very well-known saying. A few spoiled apples, one rotten apple spoils the bunch. That's basically what it is. These people are taking this symbol to mean slavery. And then the rest of the people believe, this is what slavery is represented by nowadays. No, not anymore. Slavery does not exist, and the Confederate flag is a part of our nation's history. A bad part of it, but it is still a part of the history. We need to keep that in mind, and we need to respect the people that, even though they were fighting for the wrong side, they lost their lives. Okay? Now, I apologize in advance. Well, I apologize now for anybody that was offended on my views. I am going to be apologizing a lot, I get the feeling, for expressing my views on controversial subjects. People are going to hate me. Here's the thing. I don't care. You can hate me all you want. You can say whatever you want. But if you actually do something, I will defend myself. Okay? If you say something entirely degrading, I will defend myself in every way that I can. Okay? So, I wanted to end this on a more happy note, I guess. On a more peacemaking note. Believe what you want to believe, because I sure believe what I want to believe. Alright? So, thank you for very much listening to my my thoughts on stuff, and for listening to me rant and ramble on a little bit about how annoyed I was that this happened. But, So if you want to have a discussion about it, feel free to discuss it in the comments below. And also feel free to give me a couple of topics to discuss afterwards, discuss in future videos. And I will take you up on that, and, I will discuss everything that I want to discuss. All right? So this is Likable Libertarian. I'm leaving now, and I will see you all later. Bye.